Hello, this is Joseph Brady again, and I'd like to talk to you today about starting to get some physical activity while using one of the oxygen concentrators. This is an Inogen G5 that I got, and they're actually great. They're light enough to be able to carry around with you. And again, the physical activity is probably the single biggest thing that people can do to improve their breathing. We talked about breathing exercises, and in this case, what I'd like to do is talk about breathing exercises and beginning to incorporate some physical activity into it, which will up the oxygen requirements. So you want to make sure you know what your oxygen levels are when you start. And so to kind of take a baseline with just standing still. And then as you begin moving around, to check your oxygen levels once in a while, especially if you start feeling any shortness of breath or feeling funky, go ahead and check your oxygen levels and make sure that your activity levels are at a level where you can keep your oxygen obviously above 90. If possible, the higher the better. And so I'm going to check my oxygen right now because the smoke here in Colorado is real bad at the moment. And so I'm starting out here at about, come on, where are we? About 93, which normally for me anymore, I'm like somewhere between 91 and 95. Still haven't got back to that 97, 98 thing like my wife does, but I'm working on it. And these days I don't really carry the concentrator around with me much. But I do keep it handy for when we've got these forest fires going and the smoke going. It really does help. So anyway, I'm going to go through a series of exercises called the 8 Silken Forms that just begin to introduce just a little bit of physical activity while you coordinate that to the breathing exercises. And the same breathing exercises we've been doing. Try to take a long, slow, fine inhale. And then at the top of the breath, you want to relax completely, take the extra sip. I'll talk you through it. Start by spreading your feet out, aim your feet straight forward, and have the concentrator up over one shoulder. Sometimes it helps to have it over two, depends on how much physical, over both of them. It just depends on how much physical activity you're doing, how strenuous, how much movement. So we're not doing anything all that strenuous, so I'm just going to have it over one. So start, exhale all the air out of your lungs. Take a long, slow inhale. Try to completely fill your lungs. And then at the top of the breath, relax completely, take an extra sip. And then exhale, long, slow, fine, and deep. Nice and relaxed. And again, at the bottom of the breath, to relax completely, let the last little bit of air out. On this set of exercises, the 8 Silken Forms, second time you breathe, bring the palms facing up toward the ceiling. And then down. Breathe in. Third time, the arms come out in front of you like you're hugging a tree. And again, relax completely, let the last little bit out. And then each of these has a little finishing move. You curl your hands up in a fist, come up on your tippy toes, and then soften your knees and gently set your heels down onto the ground. But you want to keep your weight that little bit forward onto the balls of your feet. This next exercise is called supporting heaven with both hands. Breathe in as you bring the arms up. And you want to keep the hands up for the space of 3 breaths. And we've talked about some of the healing sounds. You can add those into any of these. The healing sound for the lungs is the S sound. So to make an S sound, and that helps track the exhale. And then third time, bring the hands down. And again, a little finishing move. Curl your hands up in a fist, come up on your tippy toes. Gently set your heels down onto the ground. Third one's called pointing out the eagle. Breathe in as you bring the arms up. Turn to your right. Breathe out as you kind of push out toward the wall. Breathe in as you turn back. Breathe out as you push under. Breathe in as you turn. Breathe out as you push under. Third time, drop the left hand down around, make a big ball. As you exhale, squish the ball down. Turn the ball over. Pick up your right foot, point one finger up. There's an eagle pointing out the eagle. And then set it down. And then do left side. And then just to be appropriate, now my lungs are feeling good right now, but probably a good idea at this point to go ahead and check your oxygen levels again, just to make sure that you're well within safe levels. Again, that's not that much physical activity, but it is a little bit more to increase the need for oxygen. And so see if your lungs are able to supply it. You can possibly, you may need to turn up the concentrator if that does start falling too low. Anyway, don't be afraid to be physically active, just keep track of it.